Is the dump actually over, and is it time for us to actually take a very nice long trade over on Bitcoin? Because if we look at it from general technical perspective, then it's actually going to seem like a beautiful longing area, especially if you look, and look at these general, not that very predictable patterns that are, a spreading wedge in this instance. And oftentimes, a lot of gurus will tell you that a spreading wedge is mostly a bullish pattern that usually breaks to the upside and breaks very, very hard. Now, let's put some more information into this and let's decide whether it's time for us to long or not. And I'm going to reveal whether I've taken a long trade at the end of the video, because first I want to give you some context, and I think it is of utmost importance. And there is a lot of context I really want to share with you guys. If you haven't seen my yesterday's video on the topic of altcoins that I'm holding that I think still have a lot of potential, please pause this video, go check out that one because it's very useful, and then come back to this one because there's a lot of context in both of them. So now, before we move on, remember that if you're trading actively, you need a place that you can trust, and you need a place that actually compensates you for trading on the platform. So one of the options is Bybit. With my exclusive link down in the description of this video, you can claim up to $30,000 initial deposit bonuses and other bonuses as well. You can take a look at the screen right here. And exchange number 2 that gives you incredible bonuses is BitGet. I'm going to leave a very special link down in the description of this video, which is going to, the promotion in this link will end in 7 days. So if you want to receive, actually, there is a bunch of rewards. $20 reward, Apple smartwatch, also iPhone 15, and also Apple family. So basically you're getting Apple products for your entire family, and you can also get a Rolex, and I think it is actually a Submariner. So if you want to get a Rolex, an iPhone, or maybe Apple, then this is the time, Apple smartwatch, then this is the time for you to act. With my exclusive link down in the description of this video, to this website right here, I'm going to leave this specific link where you need to use this link right here to register, deposit money into your account and trade, and then you can see all the requirements and stuff for these bonuses. So if you're an active trader, you're trading anyway, you might as well get yourself an iPhone, an Apple family reward, or a Rolex, which is insane. And also BitGet gives you up to $8,000 in initial deposit bonuses. And the benefit of BitGet, as opposed to, for example, Bybit, they're also quite large, they're also quite reliable, don't have any stupid FUD about it, to the best of my knowledge. And what they give you is, with BitGet, is that they still don't require KYC in select jurisdictions. So that's the main benefit of BitGet, plus you can get a Rolex right now, which is insane. If you use my link down in the description of this video, this precise link right here. But at the same time, KYC will be everywhere. So if you're still fighting it, don't. So let's move on. And before I give you the answer whether I'm actually taking a long trade on Bitcoin, let's give it some context. So there's different types of context. First context is the technicals, and the technicals are telling us, okay, we have we are standing at a very important support, so it kind of makes sense for us maybe to take a long trade. But there's many other things that actually matter, because what mattered before was the actual ETF. And I did tell you before, like, look at this shorting zone. I personally didn't short from here. I really wanted to short at the upper, echelon, the upper resistance of the shorting area to actually take a short trade, like 50, 49, 50. So it came in at 49, but I still didn't take a short. So in this instance, the reason why I dumped, as I told you before, which is the sell the news type of an event on the ETF, which is what we expected, as our community at least. But what is happening next is we have so many more things, which is in macro, which is the interest rates. We also have halving that is coming up in a couple of months. So we have so many things that actually are going to be following the ETF that this is by no means at the end of the actual up move. So, but again, please watch this video from the beginning and until the end, because if later you complain about something stupid like a blind Karen, it's on you. So, all right, so let's have a look what actually matters. And what matters is, before I give you my answer on whether I'm trading Bitcoin to the upside right now or not, is this. For one, we need to understand, aside of the halving that is coming up, what is the United States going to be doing? Because for now, it seems like, we're going to see an announcement soon of the reduction of the interest rates, the Fed pivot, printing of the money again, a lot of money flowing to the market. Woo, this quadfacta, trifecta of 2024. But is this really the case? And there is a worrying sign. So if you actually look at the interest rate probabilities that probably there will not be another rate hike. But if you look at if you look at the unemployment and initial jobless claims, you will also see that everything is looking quite okay. We don't have an increase. This is what really usually is the precursor for recession. But what really worries me, what you need to look at yourself personally as well, is the inflation. Because so far, even though we were very hopeful that finally it started going down again, the recent reading, which was on January 11th, actually came in. The previous one was 3.1, forecast was 3.2, and it came in at 3.4. So it is still, we're actually distancing ourselves from the 2% target rate for inflation by Fed. This doesn't mean anything just as of yet, but if this continues to the upside for whatever stupid reason for longer than we expected, then the interest rates will stay probably higher for longer than we've expected. And this in turn increases the likelihood of a recession and short-term volatility to the downside because of just stupid fear and FUD by the people. So this doesn't really have any implications yet, but this is in the background and you need to understand this and you need to pay attention to this. So outside of this, what matters right now is liquidity. Before I come to the chart, before I show you, before I reveal my answer, you need to understand what is my narrative. So right now we are seeing a lot of selling pressure, and guess what? A lot of that selling pressure is coming from Grayscale. Grayscale has transferred another 19,000 Bitcoin, almost $1 billion to Coinbase. And again, when we see these kinds of transfers, which just came in not that long ago, it usually is the precursor to huge selling, because otherwise why would they be transferring it? But before you become too worried, look at the liquidity. And look at what is happening right now in terms of the huge orders. And this is what we've seen before. And this has been quite accurate in the recent months when I've been showing you this. Again, not always, but this is just, again, everything is a piece of the puzzle. Bits and pieces that actually form a view and create an opportunity. Either to the downside or to the upside. And in this instance, we're seeing there is a lot more liquidity standing at 52,000, 53,000. And therefore, my analysts are saying that there is a potential, just by seeing this, that there still is another leg up in Bitcoin before the continuation of the stagnation or the actual move to the downside, the more powerful move to the downside. So, which also is something that kind of makes sense. And let me explain why. And that is this right here. So the actual inflows and the liquidity coming from the Bitcoin ETF. And so far, a lot of people are debating whether it was a success or whether it was not a success. And so far, we had about $1 billion of inflows, of net positive inflows. And this means that we have on average, this is a very good post, that we have about 300 million net inflows, meaning that, the actual outflows plus the inflows, and you get a net positive in this instance, which is good. So, and it's 300 million net with inflows a day into Bitcoin, which means about 7,000 Bitcoin a day are taken off the market at current Bitcoin prices. And only 900 Bitcoin is mined every day. So there is almost 10 times more Bitcoin just because of the ETF, not retail, just the ETF, taken off the market in comparison to how much is being mined. So if you think about this is quite crazy. And last piece that really matters, in my opinion, is this right here, that Bitcoin, just in general, 1 billion for first few days of an ETF, it's not, crazy, but it's actually quite good. And a lot of the analysts are agreeing that it is a very good sign, because this liquidity, this inflows, and the FOMO will start building slowly, gradually, more. That's how it's actually always been. Even with the gold ETF back in early 2000s, the idea is always the same. But the thing what I want you to pay attention to in this precise tweet is BlackRock's IBIT and Fidelity's ETFs led the way, but in terms of the inflows, but the outflow, the Grayscale's GBTC saw the sizable outflows. So the biggest amount of outflows right now, and the reason why we have such a lower median net positive inflow, because we see a lot of outflows because of GBTC. But then you have to ask yourself, if that is the case, is that short term or is that long term? Because GBTC, a lot of people could not unlock their Bitcoin. They could not sell their Bitcoin. A lot of them are actually right now at profit. So a lot of them are capitulating. They're like, screw this. I've been waiting for so long that I just want my money. Thank you very much. Goodbye. So in my opinion, this means these outflows out of GBTC are short term. They will at some point get shaken out. The ones that want to flow out, that want to sell, they will get shaken out. And then what do we have left? We have this left. 7,000 Bitcoin a day taken off the market while 900 Bitcoin is being mined, which is very positive. So therefore, and considering this right here, it gives me a desire to actually long Bitcoin. But this is not the end of it. So again, that's why I'm saying always watch my video till the end. Right now, we're standing, and before I give you the last piece of the puzzle, which makes me decide whether I want to long or short Bitcoin right now, certainly we're standing at a very important support. Certainly liquidity is telling us, okay, maybe we're going a bit higher, and especially understanding this right here that I just shared with you. But what about the sentiment? Like, what is actually happening right now? And for this, let's go to the Bitcoin dominance. And we're going to see that currently Bitcoin has lost a very important level. In the weekly chart, in terms of the dominance, it actually closed below 52%. And this historically has been very important. So this is a huge weakness in terms of Bitcoin dominance. And why is that? What does that mean? And how can that impact whether we're taking a trade right now on Bitcoin or not? And the answer is very simple, because as I've mentioned before so many times, this entire up move, this big parabolic move, has been primarily based on the hoping for the ETF. ETF is here, we have inflows, outflows, this and that, okay, or liquidity here and there, but the narrative and the sentiment is shifting. So that being said, before I give you my conclusion, what I want you to understand is this right here, that BlackRock is shifting the narrative right now. And also a lot of big players, other big players. BlackRock wants to follow Bitcoin ETF with an Ethereum ETF. Marketing it might be nuts and blah, blah, blah. So right now, the next one in line is Ethereum for the ETF. And because of this, Ethereum's price dominance is now more than extra 22.4% versus Bitcoin in one single week, which is telling me that even though we could see another upside in Bitcoin, the bigger upside and what we should focus on and the question we should be asking is maybe we should be longing Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. Even if, like, my projection is that for now, I want to stay in the altcoins I showed you in the previous video. That's why I told you watch my previous video and pay closer attention to Ethereum, because right now we actually have broken out a very important level. This, like, not the important level, but just in general, a very important formation, which is this one right here. And we actually have broken out the crazy weekly close. Let's have a look at the volume and look at the volume. Look at the volume is coming in hot as well. So this, in combination with everything that I've just mentioned in this video, it makes me want to focus on Ethereum more than on Bitcoin right now. Even though Bitcoin could stagnate, go to the side, maybe at the worst case scenario, stop people out, go to 40K, 39, in this vicinity of the spot accumulation area that we actually have, that I actually have been showing you for so long, just to surprise people, to just shake people out right here, maybe spot accumulation zone of like 30 cents. So this would be a huge order block, but all of this is great. But at the same time, what matters most, where the attention of the money is right now, is Ethereum. So therefore, if I'm actually gonna zoom out, let me zoom out like this. My team right now has actually prepared a big analysis, and you can actually, if you want, you can pause the video and read this right here, right now. Okay, you just read it, amazing. So our target initial target is like 25 to 2,700, then the next one 28 to 3K, and then subsequently 3K to 36K, 3,400 to 3,600, apologize, not 1,100. So, just used to Bitcoin. So this is what I really want to focus on. Am I taking a leveraged long trade on Bitcoin right now? And the answer is, and here you've been waiting for it. So on Bitcoin, I'm not taking a trade yet. I'm going to take a trade at an extreme. Right now, I don't feel like the price is actually at an extreme, at the extension to the either side. So I'm going to just hold off of my leverage trades on Bitcoin. But on Ethereum, I don't have a trade yet. I have a spot trade. I have a bunch of Ethereum, which is making me very happy. But at the same time, I am considering, if we pull back, our most important level right now is this one right here, which is about 2164. This just historically has been a very important level for us. We broke above it right here, and we've been fighting it tooth and nail, and we actually broke to the upside. So if we actually break lower and close lower than this level right here, then this just opens the road to like 1700 and back into this vicinity, and then disappointment, and maybe then, to the upside. So therefore, everything I'm saying here is going to be invalidated if we drop and close weekly, in a weekly chart below 2160. So while this is not happening, this area right here for me is the longing area. So if it goes a bit lower, some correction, I will take a long trade, and I will write it up right here on everything, and basing my analysis on everything that I've just explained. And guys, remember to pay attention to the macro. Remember about this incredible offer by BitGet. I'm gonna leave a link to it. You're gonna need either Bybit or BitGet or both. I suggest also using both just to diversify. And you can get up to a Rolex, a free Rolex, if you're an active trader and you have volume and you can actually meet the requirements. And just in general, use a link to BitGet and you can actually claim up to $8,000 initial deposit bonuses. And this huge promotion ends in 7 days. So I suggest you jump on it immediately. And as always, check out this quick tutorial as to how to trade Bitcoin with proper risk and money management. You're going to learn a lot. It's going to be useful also for altcoins and Bitcoin and etc. And don't forget to join my Crypto Signals community, link down in the description as well. And as always, peace and love. Tam Skralo. Stay smart, stay very rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.